New York City's Tribeca Film Festival is going on right now. It began in 2002, you may recall, as a defiant response to the 9/11 attacks. And over the past 10 years, it showed more than, listen to these numbers, 1,200 movies from 80 countries and generated $725 million in economic activity.
The festival was the brainchild of two-time Oscar winner Robert De Niro and his producing partner Jane Rosenthal. We're pleased to have both of them here in Studio 57. Welcome.
Yes.
Good morning.
Now, has this turned out to be everything that you expected and even more?
Well, I didn't know, when we first started, we didn't know what to expect, so we're very happy that it's done as well as it has. And
what pleases you most about it?
Well, you know, the fact that if it would be a part of the New York tradition and last for a long time, I'd be happy.
I think you got that.
I think, yeah, I was going to say mission accomplished, because I think for many people, guys, when they think of film festivals, they think of independent movies, but you all get independent movies and big blockbusters too, by design?
Absolutely, because the big blockbusters actually, there's a lot of people that pay attention to the big blockbusters, and what that does for us, because we have a very limited marketing budget, is draw attention to all the smaller films, the great independent films, the world cinema, the experimental films, the amazing documentaries. And so as long as it helps us draw attention to those films that we screen for the next 10 days, that's our goal.
What's the most fun for you, Robert De Niro, connected with this festival? May I just say I'm just so glad you're here, Bob De Niro? May I just say that we are so glad that you're here at the table?
Well, thanks. The festival, I'm just beginning to enjoy it, because it's a little bit. It's a little bit of stress in the sense that you've got to be on the show, you've got to be ready, you've got to do stuff. Well, you know, just and so, but it's terrific. I'm very happy with what's happening, the whole thing. You know, I mean, the fact that it's not just a film festival per se. It's got the street fair, it's got the drive-in, it's got other elements that are more that are not expected in a film festival, which makes it, to me, more.
What makes the two of you work together so well? I mean, what is this producing partnership that's working, and you've got something new coming up now? What do you think?
Oh, good, you answer that one.
Well, you trust her. She's creative. She's, you know, you speak the same language.
Yeah, I mean, we've been together a long time.
I know.
So, in order for things to work, they have to, you know, you have your ups and downs, but basically you have an understanding, and you give each other the room that is needed to do what we want to do individually, together. And it's been good. It's been very good.
Yeah, you know, you've got NYC 22 coming up.
We do.
Would you mind if we show a clip before you tell us about it? Is that okay?
Sure, absolutely.
We just happen to have a clip, Jane.
Oh, okay.
Let's see the clip. Randy?
Like, no offense, but how old are you?
Like, old enough that I had to threaten to sue the academy to get in. Just call me Lazarus.
But she was a good reporter. Why'd you quit for?
I didn't quit. They fired me, man. You know, budget cuts. Newspapers are a dying animal.
But a cop?
Why not? You know, after 14 years on the street, half the time I had better sources than the detectives I was writing about, so.
Set, Charlie, in New York City.
Indeed.
Your love of New York City is legendary. If you didn't live here, where would you live?
I don't know. I mean, I'm a New Yorker, so I don't know where I'd live. I love to visit other cities, live in other cities temporarily, but New York is my home.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. So NYC, another cop drama. Why did you decide that particular genre?
Well, first of all, CBS was looking for another cop genre. That was number one.
That's an opening.
That was an opening. And we had the opportunity to work with Richard Price, who's an incredible novelist and screenwriter and has a very unique voice. So we went to Richard and asked Richard what he thought about doing a rookie cop show. And he was definitely into it. He wanted to set it in Harlem, and Harlem is really a changing neighborhood right now. It's also character-driven, which I think is different than a lot of cop shows. It's far more character and a lot less, you know, intense action than you normally find.
I have known both of you for a while. You know what intrigues me about him is that you think of him as good an actor as America has, but he's also an entrepreneur with remarkable talent. I mean, what is that? You know? I mean, this guy does well at business. I mean, his father was an artist. Yeah. He's an artist. And yet you've shown remarkable understanding about restaurants, hotels? Developing Tribeca.
Well, I've been lucky too, but I just try and take advantage of things that I think are common sense. That's all. And I guess my mother was an artist also, but she was also had a business sense too, practical sense. So maybe I got some of it from her.
When are you going to direct again?
I'd hope soon, but I don't know. It's a lot of work. It's a big commitment, and as much as I love it, it has to be something so special. We have a couple of things that we're talking about.
And is acting today as interesting and as challenging as it's ever been for you?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Still, that's good to know. We also should say, Charlie, you've got a great sense of humor, Bob De Niro. I saw you on Saturday Night Live. So, I mean, so there clearly is a side of you that loves to laugh, that loves to have fun. But when I said I was so glad you're here, I also know that you really don't like to do interviews so much. This wasn't so bad, was it, with me and Charlie?
No, it was fun.
It was okay. So
he can think of 100 other things he'd rather be doing.
A root canal,
8:30 in the morning.
A root canal, perhaps. But why is it that you really don't like to? I am curious, because you're such a great actor. You could play any role. People love to hear you and hear what you have to say. Why is it that you really would prefer not to? And I'm not trying to be funny or put you on the spot. I've always wondered.
Well, you know, when you say, if I had to say something, if we got into a discussion about something that's more controversial, and if it was, then the pieces of that could be taken out.
Out of context.
And, out of context, right. And then put as a kind of a blip somewhere, and then how do I explain it? So you say, let me just be careful.
Yeah, but see, here's what I believe, and I've said this to him before. All of us are fascinated by films and Tribeca, especially interesting in small creative films. I don't know of anybody who could talk better about understanding the craft of acting than you. Right. And that may be boring, but for most of us, it's not boring. And I got to believe that you think about it and you love it and it's interesting to you because you do it so well.
No, it's not boring to me. I mean, I don't talk about it much unless somebody really asks me, or students ask me, or people who are really interested ask me. Kids, I like to give advice to kids. I always enjoy doing that.
The best way to do an interview with him, this is a good idea, is to go before a bunch of acting students somewhere, and in a place where it's informal, not in a television studio, and really understand, because I mean, if you think about so many things, you know, it's a reflection of American cinema over the last 20, 25 years.
How he does,
where he's been and what he's done.
And there's a new baby in the house. Has Bob De Niro changed diapers? I'm very happy for you and your lovely wife.
Thank you. I've not done a lot, but I'm there.
I'm thinking, Bob, if acting doesn't work out, you should do talk radio.
Yes.
Always good to see you. I'll see you around Tribeca. I'm going to a couple other things. Can't wait. Thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Good to see you.